Hello again, welcome back to another episode on the Mini. I'm Steve, aka the Gunslinger of Gunslinger Speed Shop, and I'm going to be walking you through day 5 on the Mini. Now, so far, pretty much all we've done is spend the entire week on the front end because the customer had a lot of fabrication work done prior to it coming to us, and unfortunately, as good as it was, things were welded in the wrong place, in the wrong shapes. We had bulges, we had dips, we had massive slug welds that were protruding and needed grinding back. It was actually quite a lot that needed doing that we hadn't foreseen. Now, unfortunately, refabricating everything is not an option in this situation, so we're doing the best we can. There's a lot of panel work being done. With what we can do, we have reshaped most of the metal that we had on there, but we are having to put some skims of fiberglass and filler in there. Not loads. I mean, we have really panel worked it and really put a lot of time in on the metal work, so we don't have to put so much fiberglass or filler on it, because obviously having too much filler and stuff like that leads to cracking and other problems, and it's just not worth it. But we're doing the best we can in the situation that we've got. So this is pretty much, so we didn't record the entire thing. A lot of it was done on the time lapse. So there's only a few clips here, but long story short, I had just sprayed this with a bit of etched primer to use it as guide coat, and I'm just giving it another little rub down with a 180 to make sure there wasn't any bits that I'd missed, which there was, of course. So there's a couple of bits needed a tiny little skim, a couple of little pinholes, bits and bobs here and there. So I'm just mixing up the filler, lovely jubbly, little pea-sized bit of hardener to a dollop of filler. You don't need too much filler, hardener in your filler, because it'll ruin it. And you will run out far too quick. So just a couple of tiny little mops there, a couple of little pinholes that need rectifying or whatever. Get them sorted out. Get it all sanded again with the block, and then just give it another little coating of the etched primer as a guide coat, just to double check it, because it makes it so much easier to actually see what you're doing when everything is one colour. It comes a point in a restoration job where you've got so many different types of fillers or glasses or whatever. You've got all these different colours coming through. Maybe you've got different primers and you've got different layers of paint from years of painting or from previous paint job. And it can get quite hard to see what you're doing. And there's only so much you could do with your hands. So just putting a little coat of something over it with a uniformed colour, just to uniform it, you can see what you're doing. It makes life a hell of a lot easier. And this is the end of Friday. So we're quite far in now. It's almost ready for a bit of primer. This rear scuttle bit here, gutter, sorry, that was a little bit wobbly and dippy. So I've put a little skim in that. Brad's absolutely smashed the front end. He's been blocking that non-stop for days, and it is coming out pretty fucking good, if I'm honest. I'm quite impressed, because I can't stand block sanding, and unfortunately he's been a bit ditched with it, but he's done a blinding job on it. And obviously I spent a day doing the headlight surrounds, and yeah, it's coming together. Bosh.